Robinson Show, we are back with T.C. Restani.
Well, how's it going, guys?
Great,
All
great,
right,
T.C. How are you, my friend? From After Hours with T.C. Restani.
I'm doing fantastic now. I'm talking to you guys.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's great to hear. What does T.C. stand for?
That's a mystery. We're not going to give that away.
Ooh. Any ideas, Slim?
Tommy Kudo.
Oh, I was thinking of Tommy Kudo.
Right?
Yeah.
You know Tommy Kudo, too?
Yeah.
Oh,
I assumed it was you, but I guess it's not.
Oh, Tommy Kudo.
Tommy Kudo's a good guy, though.
He's a great guy. He's a great guy. He's the greatest.
If his initials are TC, then he's okay with me.
Oh, my God. TC, you've been doing your show for a while, right? 2003, if I'm not mistaken.
May 29, 2003, not to be exact.
Wow.
But, yeah, that was the exact day we did our first TV taping with Hollywood legends Pat Morita and Sherman Hemsley.
That was your first, yeah. I had that in the notes. And how did you connect with them?
Well, when you're T.C. Restani, you can do a lot of things. But I'm going to give credit to my production team. They said, listen, I know you're going to be doing your inaugurational episode at the end of May, and guess who's a couple pounds away with none other than Mr. Miyagi and George Jefferson. So they gave him a call. We didn't tell him anything about the show, and they showed up. And Mr. Miyagi didn't remember half of it anyway because he was half of the bag the entire time.
He seemed it. I figured you just paid a limo driver, like you had them picked up, and you just had them brought over.
Yeah, well, we kind of did that. Basically, we had it all catered. We had a big Italian feast here for him, and Pat Morita ran right for the booze.
Oh, of course. That's what
It was what you see is what you get. There was no second takes on that one.
Wow, yes. That's the best. And where do you get that sweet head of hair groomed?
Well, it's genetics. I have to, give credit where credit is due to my mama and papa, and it's it doesn't age. I'm timeless. Maybe that's what stands for. A timeless classic. That's what TC stands for.
Ooh.
Whoa! Breaking
Revealed.
news! Timeless classic. I like it. And where do you buy your suits? Because I am obsessed with them.
Well, it took me a while, but do you remember all the game show hosts of the 70s and the 80s always got it from Dicker and Dicker of Beverly Hills?
Wow, I didn't know that. That's another layer I didn't even know. I did not.
Yeah,
know
well,
that.
I don't know if they're still in business and whatnot, but that's where I got my suit, and that's where my my seamstress said she was going to get the fabric from Dicker and Dicker of Beverly Hills. Hey, it's good enough for Wink Martindale. It's good enough for T.C. Restani.
That's what I was saying.
So you got him like in the 70s.
Yeah, you got him off those dead guys that did game shows.
Well, also it's an homage to my broadcast hero, Bobby DeBrayne.
Bobby DeBrayne Heenan and Johnny Carson, correct?
The king himself, Johnny Carson. No one will ever beat him. I don't care if television's around for another 3 billion years. They will never beat Johnny Carson. Never.
What did he have that was so special?
He was the first one that was successful at what he was doing. He made going to bed at night with Johnny Carson a comfortable thing. I mean, if you did not have Johnny on TV from the 60s to the 90s at 11:30, something was wrong.
Who do you feel besides you, has carried on his legacy? Or nobody?
See, I really don't watch the competition that much these days because it's all cookie cutter sheets. I mean, I'd have to say that if I had a choice and a gun to my head, I would say that Jimmy Kimmel is probably the most innovative guy that they have out there right now.
Cool. Yeah, I did. I went earlier in, like you said, the 90s. I originally followed Letterman because I felt he was better. But towards the end, I felt Leno.
Letterman was great when he was on NBC at 12:30. When he became 11:30 and had to tone down his show, he went down the toilet.
Is that what it was? Cause I remember at one point I was just done with him, and then years later I checked Leno out, and I'm like, Leno surprisingly made me laugh, and I never had liked him.
Is that a thing too?
Leno actually did a shout out to me on one of my South Boston Jet celebrity stalking videos. Jay Leno was coming back from the Hasty Pudding Award. That's a theatrical award that Harvard University gives out to a celebrity every year. I'm waiting for my invitation.
Right.
But Jay Leno, we had our camera crew down there, and Jay gave us a shout out at like 3:30 in the morning. So Jay's okay in my book.
Cool. Cool.
So the time slots really did determine like how much you could do, I guess.
Yeah.
What was that again?
Time slots like kind of determined how much you could do. Like if you were
Exactly. I mean, now it doesn't matter today because everything's on demand. You can watch it on your toilet the next morning
Right.
and whatnot. But back in the heyday, when you only had 4 channels on your television, it really depended on where you were.
Yes. And TC, where is After Hours on? Is that on TV or is that just on the internet?
It's just online right now at our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com// whatever that's called, After Hours TC, or go to my website, tcrestani.com, and you can link to all our social media and fun stuff like that on there. I don't know anything about that. I just host the show.
cool.
Ah, yeah. That's the other guys that run it. But your show's won awards, correct?
Yep, 5 times best talk show for a regional talk show. And that's just not like in the Boston area. That actually encompasses, big word, encompasses the entire Northeast. I beat out 40 different talk shows each time I won the award.
Cool. That's awesome. I've loved every segment I've watched. When I got here earlier today, Slim was watching some that I didn't even see, and I was dying. I was dying at some of those.
Which ones were you watching? Refresh my memory. 'Cause
Well,
once I hosted, I don't remember half of them.
What was the one where they were bobbing for barbecue? There was
yes.
a guy wearing a Jason mask and
Colonel Bull
yeah,
Montana.
Yeah. That was a couple years ago. Bobbing for Barbecue. That was Vinny Capelli, Colonel Bull Montana, and Jason turned out to be none other than Self Austin Jeff, our celebrity star.
He's the best.
Yeah.
He's not. I don't know if I can say he's the best. I do love Colonel Bull Montana as well, and I want to know how you met the Colonel.
Well, Colonel Bull Montana, a little history here. I was born in Atlantic City, New Jersey, right down the street from you guys, right?
Yes.
yeah, absolutely. 30 minutes away from where I am.
Anywhere in New Jersey is down the street from when you're in Jersey.
Pretty
right?
much,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Very small
So
state.
I was only there for about maybe 4 or 5 months out of my early existence. Then I moved to Boston, Massachusetts, and during the summer times, as I got older, I went up to Las Vegas, and my uncle owned this little dump called the Damp Napkin. And Colonel Bull Montana, who was originally from Boston, Massachusetts, was out there doing some bouncing. And I couldn't go out on the floor because I was kind of too young, but he'd sneak me out there to see the has-beens on their way down doing their acts. And we just struck up a friendly conversation and a friendship that lasted, 30-plus years. And Colonel Bull Montana used to be a professional wrestler. And he used to work at the Boston Garden as part of the Bull Gang, which was the team of people that took down the parquet floor between the Celtics and the Bruins. And he used to bring in all the bags for all the wrestlers, and they put him in the ring a couple times. And true story, Larry Bird used to watch Colonel Bull Montana wrestle. He was in a small little independent organization back in the 80s, and he'd be on TV, and Larry Bird would get a kick out of it, bring him into the Boston Garden dressing room, and watch Colonel Bull Montana lose.
Wow, that is so cool. Wow, that's some history, dude.
It is some history there. Yeah, the Colonel is, I call him the real-life Forrest Gump.
What did we watch? We watched your scene with Cedric the Santa Claus. Cedric Claus. And Colonel was down
side of the South Pole.
Yeah, and we were
eating those
tofu
vegan
hot dogs.
Yes, vegan hot dogs.
Those. I had a little health scare a couple of years ago. TC could have stood for the coronary, and I had to become vegan. And I've been experimenting with all these new vegan foods, and I had tofu hot dogs, which were disgusting. I'd rather eat the soles off a shoe. And I said, you know what? This would make a perfect bit for the Colonel.
Dude, they were like orange. They weren't even like hot dog color. They were just like, bright orange, I think. They were rough.
Yeah, they looked like Oompa Loompas.
Oh, goddamn. But he didn't look like he enjoyed them.
No, he didn't. I mean, once the cameras stopped, we took him to McDonald's, and he was happy.
Okay.
Nice.
He got his
a
fix.
Big Mac.
Yeah. Nice. God damn.
Does he ever get like mad at you when you have him do stuff like that?
He's quit the show more times than I can even count. But he never does it on the air. It's always, I'm going to quit the show. I'm done. And then 2 seconds later, we get him a pizza or Chinese food, and all the problems are solved.
we have a guy that we do bits, and we always think he's going to quit, and he never quits. He just always does whatever we ask him to do, and it's always super ridiculous, and I would never do anything we ask him to do. But he comes back.
His fear is though that if he didn't do what we asked him to do, we'd ask him to do something worse. So.
Well, I've been on the record as saying this. I will not do the show if Colonel Bull Montana is not involved.
I like that.
Johnny had Ed McMahon. David Letterman had Paul Schaefer. Bobby the Brain Heenan had that moron Jameson. And T.C. Restani has Colonel Bull Montana.
Yes. I love it. And you guys also did a weekly segment with Iron Sheik. How did that end up?
Oh, the Iron Sheik is very close friends with Colonel Bull Montana through his wrestling connection. And we had the Iron Sheik down here probably about 8 or 9 years ago making jabroni pepperoni pizza.
I saw that.
And the Sheik put on his little special ingredient that wasn't oregano. But the Iron Sheik is a classic, and we're proud to have him in the After Hours family, and he loves South Boston Jeff because he calls South Boston Jeff the greatest Boston medicine man.
He's got those connects. I like that. I want to hang out with Jeff.
Oh, you want to hang out with Jeff or the Iron Sheik? That's a trip right there.
I don't know if I would recover from that.
Can you get us the Iron Sheik?
What is that?
Can you get the Iron Sheik to do our show?
You know what? I haven't talked to Sheiky Baby in quite a long time. He had some health issues, and I know he's pulling through out there, but the Iron Sheik is an original, and the many times that I've met him, and he's always been a true gentleman, but, he's got that, you flip the switch, and he's the Iron Sheik, and we love him to death. You're out there, Sheiky Baby. Everybody in After Hours loves you and misses you, buddy.
He's out there. He's definitely out there. What do you have planned for Christmas, TC?
Well, as we speak, I'm actually packing. I'm going to Hollywood, California in the morning, and I'm going out there for a long weekend. And I know we had some crappy weather up here, and I know some of my crew, going to Christmas parties. But we had planned a live stream show coming up on Friday the 13th. That's probably still going to happen, but it's not 100% definite yet. We may have to postpone it until January. And I know Cedric Claus is going to be on that show, and he's busy, bringing all the mirth and joy from the south side of the South Pole. So, if it doesn't happen on Friday the 13th, Jason killed us, and we'll just postpone it until January 2020.
I was hoping Cedric was still rocking. I didn't know if Amazon ever took him down.
And you know what? I talked to Cedric not too long ago, and he's still a little miffed at Amazon and what they did to his business. But Cedric is one cool cat, and Cedric will go with the flow on anything.
Yes, I agree.
So, like Cedric being the south of the South Pole, does he have problems with Santa, we know is from the north side?
Yeah, he don't like Santa Claus too much. I mean, he just they don't see eye to eye. Cedric is year round, and Santa only does the one night.
There you go. Santa's calling it in. Cedric's
a harder worker.
Yeah,
he just keeps going.
Oh, much harder worker.
Yeah.
I mean, we're happy to know Cedric, and every time we need some gifts, we just call Cedric, and he'll always deliver.
He's on call.
He's got the hookup.
Yeah.
TC, do you come to Atlantic City ever? Since you mentioned being born here, do you ever come back down?
Well, I was in Atlantic City probably about 7 or 8 years ago. I just came down there. I haven't been there in a while, walked the boardwalk and whatnot. But I do go to come to your state quite a bit. Twice a year, I go to beautiful Parsippany, New Jersey. Ever been there?
No.
I like going to a lot of Comic-Cons with South Boston Jeff and whatnot. I go to People Watch and see all the the has-beens and whatnot, and say, you know what, I don't want to get to this level, so I'm using this as inspiration to not be like these people.
Right.
I never want to be that guy.
But, so we go to a Chiller convention. It's called the Chiller Theater in Parsippany, New Jersey. We haven't missed a show in 20 years.
Cool.
So people always give New Jersey the rundown and say it's the armpit of the United States and whatnot. I'm here to defend New Jersey. I love New Jersey.
That's all it takes.
Yeah.
That's all it takes is a little love, and it gets a little deodorant on that armpit.
You know what? You just put a little deodorant under there, a little Arid Extra Dry, and New Jersey will grow.
Yeah, it's the Garden State.
It is the Garden State.
There's a misconception where a lot of people think people from Jersey are like assholes, but that is not true.
Well, you're an asshole.
not assholes at all.
I'm an asshole.
We are all very kind people.
Well, I'm from Boston, Massachusetts, and we're called massholes.
yes.
This is a true story, and I'm not even making this up. But I've told this before, where my father moved. He's from Jersey, but he moved to Georgia and married a woman there for Georgia. And I went to visit him and hung out with his wife's kids. And they were like, "Hey, is it true that people in New Jersey, they don't hold the door open for you?"
Yeah, that's
You know
true.
what? I don't. You know, that's why they have automatic doors.
Yes, I was just gonna say that. That's why we have automatic doors, you hillbillies. Get those, and you'll be fine.
You know, Atlanta, Georgia hasn't caught up to the times yet with the automatic doors problem.
That's what it is.
We have that technology.
Yeah, we don't hold doors open for you because they're all automatic.
TC, in all your years of doing your show, what has been one of your favorite moments or episodes?
My favorite interviews, probably. Well, you can't top Pat Morita and Sherman Helmsley. I mean, you're talking about two Hollywood legends. We lucked out, and they basically gave us a good kick in the pants to launch us.
Yes.
To this day, people, I mean, it's probably one of the most watched clips we have. The only thing I'm sad about, it wasn't during the days of high definition, so the quality isn't that great. But, you know, the memories linger on. I'd have to say my interview with my favorite Playboy playmate of all time, Jenny Lavoie, when she was on the program. Let's just say there's a good thing there was a desk in front of me during that interview. And I'm trying to think, who else have I had on the show? I'm trying to think. You know, after 16 years, you kind of, you know, get a little foggy upstairs.
Yeah.
The musicians we had my good friend Charlie Farron, who now opens up Aerosmith and REO Speedwagon and all over the world. Brad Delp, you know, remember Brad Delp? He was he was the lead singer of the group Boston, you know, More Than a Feeling.
Yes.
He did a cameo on one of our episodes. He was a great guy, big supporter of the show.
That's awesome.
You know, every single episode kind of has a special place in my heart. But I'd have to say the ones with the celebrities, the Playboy playmates, the musicians, you name it.
Yes.
I mean,
just like you said,
you can't. You know, if it's something you put your heart into, and you know, they all have a special place. Some of them suck. I'm not going to say they don't. I'm not one of these people who say that my shit don't stink.
Yeah.
No, sometimes I watch it and go, I can't believe we actually did this, or this person was awful, and I sucked on this episode. And you know what? It's out there. Watch it. I don't give a crap.
I agree. Yeah, there's so many times I used to listen to stuff, and I'm like, why didn't I say this, or why didn't I do that? But yeah, no, it's out there. It's there, and it's always going to be there. I agree. Just leave your legacy.
If that's what you want to call it, yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm calling it. Where is your studio too? Because it is a nice looking studio.
It's in Boston. It's in Boston, Massachusetts.
Did you build it, or did everybody under you? You're like, I don't want to build this.
I didn't put any nails into it. I just said, all right, this is what I'm looking for, and they came out with. This is the third version of our set. You can probably go back and watch like the Pat Morita one. That was like our little flimsy set.
Okay.
Then we had one for about 8 years, which was really awesome. And then we took a hiatus from the show from like 2013 to 2017. I got burnt out.
Okay.
So we stayed in there doing podcasts, and you know, every once in a while. Then I said, you know what, I'm getting the itch to do it again. And I called in my fantastic crew. They're all award winners. They all work in professional media. They work at, you know, Boston ABC affiliates and Fox affiliates. And, you know, these aren't rinky-dink people. These are professional people.
Yeah.
And I said, this is what I kind of want. Originally, I wanted to look like Biff's lair from Back to the Future 2 when he lived in the casino.
Yes. Pleasure Palace.
But we couldn't put a hot tub in the studio. We were afraid someone would get electrocuted. So,
how do you work around like work rights? You have a 6-year-old intern, right?
well, you know, that's the 6-year-old intern there. He's my nephew, so it's kind of in the family there.
Okay.
And his dad is the director of the program, so it's not like, you know, we imported this kid from like Czechoslovakia or something.
I was just making sure. So. I just wanted to make sure he wasn't like stitching up sneakers in the back room.
No. He doesn't work for Kathy Lee Gifford or anything like that.
Call. I thought he like came with the show.
He's part of the family.
Call. That's cool. Yeah, that's awesome. We've done a couple over the years. We've done shows with my sons, and it's fun.
Well, you know, that's the next generation, the new blood. I got to start them young.
Yes.
So when I get older and the show gets older, I have crew.
Got to do that. You got to train who's going to replace us, and you might as well train who you want.
That's right. I mean, someone saw that episode and they couldn't believe that kid was 6 years old, and how intelligent speaking he was. And I said, well, of course, he's related to me.
Damn right. That's the best. And
if he was related to the Colonel, that'd be a different story.
Yeah, I don't know. The Colonel's a little rough around the edges. What is he working out for, though? He's getting in shape, I saw.
Well, the Colonel's getting in shape because, the Colonel's up there in age. We kid about him on the show, say that he's like 87 years old. But the Colonel, he's got some health issues, and he wants to stick around beyond more episodes. So we hooked him up with a trainer. And, the Colonel has lost an exceptional amount of weight over the years on the program. I think he's down about 70 pounds from where he was a couple years ago.
That's good.
So, like I said, we have to keep the Colonel in shape because I won't do the show without him.
Gotcha. Need that Colonel.
It's an investment.
Yes. And you mentioned earlier your uncle's nightclub. Is it still around?
No, that long gone. That went on the wayside in a dust storm probably back in the late 1980s. I mean, I was only out there when I was probably between 84 and 87 is when I went out there and spent summers out there. And that place was held together with duct tape. I mean, it was a dump.
Oh, man.
It was awful. And some of the acts that were in there, I mean, I can't even remember the names. It wasn't like, they were really good has-beens. These are like bottom-of-the-barrel has-beens that you see on subway platforms trying to get 50 cents out of people.
You had us. You had Robin Slim on there. Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't know if you connected with any big names back then. I didn't know you had Robin Slim.
Robin Slim are always welcome on the program. And you guys are top-notch. You only bottom of the barrel.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. I would love to be on your show live. Too bad we aren't closer because it would be a blast. It would definitely be a blast. It seems like you do it just for fun.
Absolutely. I mean, I have a nice endowment that I was given to by my family, so I really don't have to work. So I do the show for fun and excitement and do show off the Colonel.
I was just gonna say, show off the Colonel and your hair and your suit.
Well, it's true. My sequin jackets. I have two of them. I got the jet black one and the ruby red.
Which one do you favor?
Well, the ruby red was the first one I ever had, and it's kind of worn out. I really haven't worn it on the show in a couple of years. And the black one's really cool. I mean, it's in my suitcase right now for tomorrow's big trip to Hollywood, California. And I'm going to all the sites out there. I'm going to take pictures. I'm going to obviously take a picture with Johnny Carson's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Nice.
It's going to be fantastic. I'm going to a gala event out there at the Hollywood Museum and whatnot, and I haven't been to Hollywood in quite some time, and I'm looking forward to it. I've been to Vegas a gazillion times, but Hollywood, not that many.
Cool. That's awesome. Are you going to do any on the street interviews when you're out there?
I'm not going to bring any video cameras, but I can bring in my iPhone. So you never know what may happen out there. What may run into you. You don't know.
Nice.
Absolutely don't know.
And I wanted to ask too, your podcast, is it different than the TV show?
Yeah, well, the television show, we used to do full 30-minute episodes, and we come to the realization that people's attention spans are no more than 5 to 10 minutes these days.
Yes.
Watching something. I'm not saying listening to something, but watching something. So we do these little quickies that you see on my YouTube channel, and in between that, we do podcasts. Now, a podcast it's similar but a little different. I have on my good friend Vinny Capelli. I got South Boston Jeff, and I got the Colonel on there. We usually talk about pop culture or any other thing what's on our minds. It's long. It's longer than obviously the episodes that we put out on YouTube. And but everybody these days has a podcast, and some are great, some suck. And you know what? We do it for fun. If you listen to it, great. If you don't listen to it, we're not gonna cry over it.
And we were talking about that earlier too, where a podcast is definitely something you can do in a longer form because most people use podcasts when they're doing tasks like cleaning the house or washing dishes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Realize they do podcasts or driving. Yeah. Like that's where a YouTube video you're gonna watch for, like you said, a minute or 2 minutes or whatever. But like a podcast, you'll listen to it for hours while you're working or whatever.
Yup. Absolutely.
I mean, we just bought the Roadcaster. Have you ever heard of that thing? It's a little podcast gimmick that they have there, and it's an all little purpose studio. Look it up online. It's the Roadcaster. And we're going to start, probably in the new year, do a little more podcasting than we do television because, it's cold out here up in Boston, as you know,
Right.
down in New Jersey.
Yeah.
And it's a lot easier to get somebody on the phone than it is to have them, drive 20 miles to come down here.
That's what impressed me the most about your show is you always have the live guest or something going on. Like I really feel like that's so much more than just the phone interview.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously we didn't build that set to put it on a podcast.
Yes.
We want people to see it, and we are a very visual television experience, I should say. We are, like I said at the top of the program, we are an homage to the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. We have a rainbow curtain that all the guests walk through, which are the exact same colors that Johnny Carson had. And I wanted to have my show to be funny and different. And that's why I said, as a tribute to the Bobby Heenan show. And the best compliment I ever got from a guest on the show, a guy by the name of George Lyons. He's a crooner. He sings Frank Sinatra songs. The first time he was on our show over 15 years ago, he goes, "This is the Tonight Show from the Twilight Zone."
Yes, that's amazing. That's
and
a great
He
compliment.
thought I was going to be offended by that. I was like, I shook his hand. I said, "You're absolutely right. Thank you very much. What we do is have fun." I mean, I have to show off my hair because no one in the world, probably maybe the late Michael Landon had cooler hair than me, but
Maybe.
I would have to say that my hair is, it's top notch.
It's up there, TC. TC, we got to wrap this up, but it has been an honor talking to you, my friend.
Oh, it's been awesome to be on you guys' program. Anytime you want me on there, and the next time I'll drag the Colonel on with me.
Oh, I need some
that'd be
Colonel in my
amazing.
life. I need some Colonel. Where can everybody find you?
You can find me on my website, which is tcrestani.com, but I'm very active on my Twitter, which is @AfterHoursTC. I was chatting with you guys last night for 2 hours on there in the private messages and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, always follow me on my Twitter, which is @AfterHoursTC, or you can link to it off my website, which is tcrestani.com. You can get my YouTube channel, my Instagram. I'm not really that up to date on as much as I am on my Twitter. I'm on Twitter 24 hours a day, spreading mirth and joy and talking to wonderful fans around the world.
Awesome. Thank you, TC. Have an amazing rest of the night and have an amazing holiday.
All right, dudes. I'll talk to you soon.
Talk soon, my friend.
Later, man.